State taking on Alabama A&M. It's going to be a party this weekend. First Take is live. I'm your host, Amina Smith, but I am not here alone. I got my crew here with me. Let me introduce them to you. We got the man from the Pivot Podcast. You know him from LSU. You know him as a Super Bowl champion. Ryan Clark is joining us right now.
I know.
The NFL MVP, Heisman winner from Auburn University, Cam Newton. And it's a man who needs no introduction, from Winston-Salem State University, the CIAA Hall of Fame, Stephen A. Smith. Okay, and the energy here is through the roof. So how we feeling, Stephen A?
I'm feeling marvelous. I'm driving in here, RVs all outside, all over the place. You know, people gonna be packed in Magic City Classic. Anybody that knows anything about HBCU knows about the Magic City Classic.
Like,
What's all about? Appreciate y'all being here, man. Thank y'all.
Appreciate you. Excited.
Yeah.
Like down hitting the star, I can't do it, but you was hitting the star, you got it. You brother. I thought Stephen A. Simple about this thing. I was like, oh my God.
Look, I wish I was able to see. We got a shimmy out here. Wait a minute, hold on. Look, you come to HBCU, you don't know what you're gonna get. Might get Ryan Clark out here doing dances, doing a little shimmy, the shoulders, doing everything like that.
I like this RC.
I like this RC. All right, y'all, let's get right into it. The Crimson Tide are rolling. They have won 6 straight games, including 4 against ranked opponents. Alabama now sits at number 4 in the nation, and they look to continue their winning ways against South Carolina this weekend. Stephen A., I'll start with you. Alabama, they've had an up and down 2024. It looks like a new Alabama this time around in 2025. Have they proven that they're the best team in college football?
I don't know. I can't definitively say they've proven they're the best team, but I would tell you they're right in there. They're in the conversation. I mean, when I think about how they looked against Florida State, obviously that was a bad thing. But then they've won every game since, and they won on the road at Georgia. They just beat Tennessee. They handled Missouri. They handled Wisconsin, obviously. You're looking at the kind of things that they're doing. And this kid, it's really about quarterback play. And when you got this kid Simpson, Ty Simpson, playing ball the way that he's playing ball, this is a leading candidate for the Heisman right now. He's next level, the way that he's performed. If he continues to perform for that like that, could they win the national championship? The answer would be yes. And so when we're asking ourselves that question as to whether or not, you know, they're the #1 team in the nation, have they proven to be, I can't definitively say no when their quarterback is looking the way he's looking.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I would say it like this. I would argue that it's between Alabama and Georgia. I want to say Ohio State, but they haven't been as battle-tested as Alabama has throughout their gauntlet of a schedule. Right. When you see Georgia win a game like they've won last week versus a good Ole Miss team, those type of games build character, and those type of games really get you to the point where you have to say, you have to consider Georgia as a real threat. Now, for Alabama, they're in this situation where you jump to conclusion too fast. Obviously, losing the first game the way they've lost it, and everybody was up in arms about Coach Brian DeBoer, and he's since bounced back.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always a level of expectation that Nick Saban has set at Alabama that might not necessarily be the standard you could keep once he's gone. But when you look at the way that they rebounded from the first game, obviously they're in this conversation. But to me, it is Ohio State. It is Julian saying, to me, the most underrated quarterback in all of college football. The one that we don't talk about him because he has Jeremiah Smith on the outside. We don't talk about him because he has Carnell Tate, who has made himself a first-round draft pick. And we're also talking about defensively, a Caleb Downs-led defense, but that's Matt Patricia, right? And I know we sometimes look at what Matt Patricia was as a head coach in Detroit, and we forget how brilliant of a defensive mind that he was. Now, the big thing for Ryan Day is in the year that Michigan is down, you have to dominate that game.
With that, I'm just saying, I'm looking at Ohio State right now. You look at saying and the way they've been performing. You got to give credit where credit is due. But like you said, the level of competition that they've gone up against is a question mark. You're looking at the Big Ten. Michigan isn't what it used to be.
Correct.
Michigan State isn't what it used to be. You're wondering about kind of Northwest and others. You're looking at them. You're like, what's going on here? In the SEC, you're still seeing formidable teams. And Alabama is going up against them, handle their business. And you got a quarterback that's been playing lights out. What's going to deliver you a national championship? Of course, defense matters. Y'all know this better than me. But what I'm saying is quarterback play. That's what you're looking for. And right now, is there someone definitively in the country that you're going to look at and you're going to say, yo, I'm going to take them over Simpson?
Yeah.
Can you look at that? That, to me, is what
But the other thing is this, right? There are no Cam Newtons in college football right now.
That's true.
Right? We entered this season and we were talking about all these teams that might tank because they're going to try to figure out who to draft first next year.
Right.
Ty Simpson has gone to the top of that list, but it's not a list that you're salivating over if you're a coach. And so you can have a Julian Saying who has the requisite pieces around them to make those plays. And let's remember what a young freshman wearing number 4 out of Ohio State did last year in the college football playoff. He's one of those players that can get on one of those runs that brings you a national championship.
Now, even speaking about the college football playoffs, the thing that starts to get interesting as the season goes on, especially in the SEC, if Ole Miss loses again, do you take them out of the college football playoffs versus a one-loss team? See, that's the thing, and we have to start putting emphasis on strength of schedule.
Okay.
It's so disappointing when you see a team that has not played the level of talent, and I know it's not against them. It's already inserted years ahead. But those type of things you have to consider. I would take a 3-loss SEC team before I take a 2-loss or even a 1-loss team from some other conferences.
No, you can't. I don't think you can do that, Cam. Not a 1-loss.
That's aggressive.
That's aggressive. 3-1, 3-1, 3-1.
I'm not gonna lie. 3 is really aggressive.
I understand that, but let's take a look back last year when we had a Boise State.
Okay.
Right? When you look at who they've played, and I know I'm going back in the time capsule and I'm just trying to bring merit to a 3-loss team.
Or TCU years ago,
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Those teams took losses, but at the same time versus a...
I just thought about something.
You did not learn that in journalism school.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Sellers did not teach that in journalism school.
I just thought about something. I got to ask you a question. So you talked about strength of schedule. When you're thinking about a playoff team, is it about the best 12 that you believe can legitimately make it competitive for a national championship? Or is it about, look, man, this is what the record says. This is what they deserve. I mean, how do you make that call?
So last year it was the resume. You remember, people thought Alabama should get in, and we watched teams like SMU sneak in and go to Penn State and get their doors blown off. But you talked about Boise State. Boise State was in by winning their conference, right? So that wasn't in anyone's control. To me, you have to include resume, but it is the eye test as well.
Okay.
Right? If you're those people sitting in that room in the committee, you got to say, okay, this team has a better chance of being the champion than this 2-loss team, even though they are where they were in their conference.
Okay. Yeah. I keep going back and thinking about that TCU, and I'm just like, even though everybody watched that game and there's like, are they really supposed
but
to be
you also
here?
have to remember, though, TCU won a semifinal game.
They did.
They did.
It wasn't like we marched them into the national
and beat
championship.
Michigan, actually.
There you go.
My last thing will be this. The NCAA basketball has this thing where they do a conference challenge amongst each other.
Yes.
I would love for football to incorporate that.
Yes.
One time a year, preseason, mid-season, late season, where we have an Ohio State play a creme de la creme.
Mid-season.
Yeah.
Mid-season. No, not preseason.
They did it in the
Mid-season,
beginning, and
yeah.
that's when we found out that
Right.
Arch might be in school next year, too.
You know what? Look, let me bring it back to the crowd. How we feeling back here this morning? How y'all feeling? What's the energy like? Come on, let's go.
Right.
All right, they're feeling it.
You want this, you got that.